Hello, everyone. Good evening. First of all, I'd like to thank each one of you for being a part of today's session. And in today's session, we will be discussing emotional intelligence, and I'll be discussing how it is correlated with leadership and empathy as well. And in today's presentation, we will be majorly focusing on EI. EI's correlation with leadership, and I'll be also doing an analysis of understanding your EI competencies through a questionnaire that I have. So we'll just start off because there are 50 questions and it needs analysis and it needs time. So to begin with, understanding today's agenda, I'll just put on the slideshow. Okay. Understanding EI, EI's correlationship with leadership, questionnaire and its analysis, beginning with a very quick timeline. Well, the term was first introduced or it was first heard in the year 1985. I have shared the link for the same also. Wayne Payne in one of the doctoral thesis titled A Study of Motion, Developing Emotional Intelligence. Then moving on to 1987, Kate Beasley in a magazine titled Mensa used the term emotional quotient. And then in between, we have an Israeli psychologist named Reuven Bar-On, and he comparatively used a quantitative approach, a standardized score, just like the IQ. We have intelligence quotient, and very much similar to that, EQ. And then IQ, as we all know, is more related to your logic, the way you grasp things, the way you solve problems, and the way you communicate complex things. And this IQ term was given by William Stern. And EQ is more related to your emotions. Then moving on to 1990, it was a time when EQ gained kind of popularity uh, through these uh, through these two people, Peter Salovey and John D. Mayer. They actually published a landmark article on emotional intelligence in the journal Imagination, Cognition, and Personality. Then in 1995, we come across with another behavioral science journalist, Dr. Daniel Goleman, who introduced EI as a person's ability to manage emotions, understand how to express so that it is expressed in the most efficient and in the most efficient manner, as in very appropriately. So this was a quick timeline for for emotional quotient. Now, what is actually emotional intelligence? Emotional intelligence is your social influence, like your social intelligence, as in how you are able to understand your own emotions and the emotion of the other person. And to be very honest, these things, these terms, when I'm talking of these terms come across as very easy. While you read them, also they come across as very easy, but the task lies in implementing them. That is where it comes across as a Herculean task. It is very easier said that, okay, be empathetic. Is it easy? It's not that easy. It's just it comes across. So these are things that you have to. It can also be developed. I'll just discuss this. And reading out this emotional intelligence is one of the sought after skills. It actually helps you in solving problems, not only your own problem but others as well. Now, moving on to the facts about EI, emotional intelligence is a real deal. We tend to take IQ so seriously that, in a way, we tend to ignore our emotional intelligence, our emotional quotient in a way. But definitely, it's a very serious thing. When we say that you have to control your anger, when we say that listen carefully, and when we ask you to take care of your emotions and not react in haste, not take decisions in haste, actually these things are quite serious. And just a moment, these things are quite serious, right? And these are centuries old concept. This is not something that is developed in the recent past. It's quite old, right? So this is what the first sentence basically means, that it is actually something that you have to understand and work on. Empathy and emotional intelligence are two separate skills. Now, why these are two separate skills? Empathy is your empathetic nature towards others. And when I say emotional intelligence is like understanding yourself and others, and then reacting, and then expressing yourself. Then you come across with the appropriate way of dealing with that particular situation. And not all leaders have higher emotional intelligence. Why is it this said? Because there are people who use emotional intelligence to bully, to abuse, and there are narcissists also who have really high levels of ego, and they are at leadership places, but they do not realize how abusive or how negative impact their leadership has at times. Okay, emotional intelligence can be improved. How many of you feel that emotional intelligence is something that can be worked upon?
Ma'am, me, ma'am. Good evening, ma'am.
Good evening, name
Uh,
please.
I'm Anita here, ma'am.
Yes,
Uh,
please.
Ma'am, before we start the class, I wanted to ask you
Well,
that because of my empathetic nature and, as you said, emotional intelligence is little lesser, perhaps. People
mhm,
are taking advantage of my empathy, and they cook up stories, and they finally end up not doing the task. It is
mm,
happening very regularly. So
yes.
first leadership class, when I saw this topic, I thought it is for me. uh,
Okay. Yes. And please continue.
yeah, emotional intelligence can be improved, and it has to be improved, ma'am. But we need inputs from you
Okay.
as to how it has to be improved and how assertive people should be
Mm,
as a
okay.
leader.
Thank you so much for the question. And it happens to me as well. Like, it's true, we don't understand that when and how the other person is taking an advantage of we being so concerned about them, we considering them as family, extended family, when we say that we are at workplace. So I think that rapport building is definitely important. It plays a very vital role. And to be very honest, Anita ji, you must be a very good leader. Why? Because people like to work with people, leaders who are empathetic, who actually are self-aware, who know how to manage emotions. This actually increases the energy level, but also at times I would say that you need to exercise being a little stern on them, actually keeping a tab of their objectives and are they achieving it on daily basis. So you can definitely ask them to prepare an action plan, uh, to list the goals, to list the tasks they'll be doing on that particular day, and then also ask them to tabulate one more column which mentions that have they achieved those tasks or not. And then, this in a way will make them guilty. If they are like actually hardworking, good people, if they actually are interested in increasing the productivity of the organization and being associated with you, they will definitely feel guilty that, oh, we are taking an undue advantage of she being nice to us. So I think you can try, ask them to make an action plan, and have a meeting, like in the morning, discuss the entire agenda, and a quick discussion before they leave, so that they start being on their toes and they start taking you more seriously. They are taking you seriously already, but they'll take you more seriously because they'll be like, oh, now we are being held accountable also. Now we are being questioned. Our tasks and responsibilities are being questioned, and our output is being questioned. So when these things happen, I think they will they'll pull up their socks and they'll actually start performing rather than giving excuses or sugarcoating stuff and just doing lip service and not helping. So I think this should help you. Ask them to give a daily target, and then see if they achieve it or not. Do it for a week or so, and then they will analyze themselves. The self-analysis aspect will help them, and this will actually make them also realize that if they are taking an undue advantage of you being nice to them, or you being like concerned about, they should not suffer. So I think this should help. Do you think this will help you if this the solution
Yeah,
that I just gave?
ma'am. Yeah, thank you, ma'am. I'll try out, and I'll be in touch with you even after the class. I mean, after
Most
the
welcome.
1 week session gets over, so that I'll give my feedback as to how I implemented and what other help is required from me.
That would be great. This is what I'm looking for. I'm not just looking for a 7-day association. I'm looking for an association beyond this.
Thank
So
you, ma'am.
yes, we will be in touch after this also, after the 7-day sessions also. And I hope that we come up. Pramod sir is definitely going to help me be in touch with more versatile and more active people like you. And it would be great if I could have each one of you again in my sessions with revised content, definitely. So, yes, emotional intelligence can be improved. You can change your outlook, you can change your perspective, and this can definitely help you in being a little more, what should I say, little more expressive, little more concerned about how your team is understanding each other's perspectives. Like we have been discussing the relationship management aspect, we discussed conflict management, we have discussed how you can motivate your employees, right? So if you try to create a balance of all these things, definitely you can grow as a leader. Your team can grow in terms of generating better outputs, increasing the overall productivity. Okay, so moving on to the next slide, I have because we have a yes, we have a questionnaire. Before that, I'd like to discuss the different parameters that are there in the questionnaire. There are about 5 parameters, and then what we'll be do. I'll tell you. First of all, I have a disclaimer for each one of you that this remember that this tool is not a validated psychometric test, but it is likely dependent on your mood also. So don't take it so much to your heart. It's just we are trying to understand ourselves a little better on in terms of EQ, right? Now I want to ask one question. EQ and EI, is there a difference? Nobody asked me this question. Anyone? Well, I'll tell you, EQ and IQ, these terms are quite interchangeably used from the past 30 years. They are being used interchangeably. But it is said that I was reading few articles where I come across that EQ is better. Why? Because we have IQ and standardized scores for EQ and IQ. We do not have II, right? We do not have intellectual intelligence, right? So in a way, EQ is kind of more acceptable, and EQ is a measure of your EI, right? So when I talk of the competencies, I'll be discussing self-awareness, conscious level towards yourself, understanding yourself, managing your emotions, how well you're able to manage your emotions, how often do you carry your heart to your sleeves, motivating oneself. Like we discussed yesterday also, there is Abraham Maslow's hierarchy when there is a progression that we see in the pyramid, right? Going to the higher order. And then motivating, when we talk in the team dynamics, when we talk of motivation, motivation has a lot of aspects which is included, the trust levels that you have, how you're delegating tasks, how you're communicating, all of that. And in before wrapping up everything, like before the 7 days journey ends, I would also do a quick recap of the sessions that we've done so far, because I think there has been a little ambiguity which I felt while I was listening to my recording, which I felt that uh, few things have not been perceived a little well. So I'll be discussing them either tomorrow or day after, or if required, I'll take a bonus session also. If required, I'll see. I'll do a quick recap of everything in the coming sessions. We have 3 more days to go, and then empathy. Like I said, how well you're able to understand the other person, how well you understand the other person and then react rather than just imposing your own will on the other person. And social skill is about these all skills in a way contribute to how well you manage your relationships, how well you manage any sort of disagreement, how well you are able to articulate your thought process. So all these things. And now one by one, we will be answering the questions that we have. Shall we start? So you need a pen and paper for this. Can we all get a pen and paper? Okay, thank you, Lokesh, for answering. Yes, it can be improved through experiences, but we need to require. Exactly. I agree. All these things definitely are kind of every topic, everything. जिस पे बीतती है उसी को पता है कि how to deal with it. So you cannot just completely say लकीर का फकीर कुछ नहीं है यहाँ पे. You have to adjust, adapt accordingly. Now, starting off, do we have a pen and paper? Type yes, type Y in the chat box so that we can start off with the questions. Great, great. So we'll start off with the questions. Okay. Okay, one by one, you have to rate these your responses on a scale of 1 to 5. One being like it does not apply. One being it does not apply. Two, somewhat. Three, it is like it applies to you half of the time. Four is quite often, and five, it applies to you all the time. Right? So also do one thing. Write the question number and then the response number, like the answer, like 1, 2, 3, or 5. Write the question number also. Don't forget to write the question number. It's really important because at the end you have to sum it up. You have to do the total. So you will lose track if you do not write the question number. So write the question number also. Okay. Now, first question. I realize immediately when I lose my temper. Rated on a scale of 1 to 5, 1 being it does not apply, 5 it applies to you most of the time, 2 is somewhat, 3 half of the time, and 4 often, and 5 it applies all the time. Okay, I want one suggestion. Do you want me to read it for you, or you will read it and answer it and tell me when you are done with the 9 questions in the chat box? Just type done. When majority of you type done, I will move on to the next slide, which has the next set of questions. So we have 50 questions in total. So I think one slide should maximum take around 5 minutes maximum, because yes, you have to understand also. So how do you want? Should I leave it to you for 5 minutes? You read it on your own and then reply, and then I just let me know, just type done, and then I'll move on to the next slide. Does that work for you? Okay, 9 questions done already. That's great, Anita ji. That's okay. Okay, so I'll just give you, right? I'll give you 5 minutes to go through the slide, and then I'll move on to the next slide. Done 9 questions. Okay, you're done. So can I move on to the next slide? Okay, so I'll move on to the next slide if you're done with the 9 questions. Great, good speed. Next, we have next set of questions. So did you get the meaning of I do not carry my heart on my sleeve? Is like you're not that vulnerable. You do not show your feelings quite often. And 17th question, fly off the handle. You do not get angry that easily. Okay, in case you have any doubt in the terms, you can ask. Now, when you're done with these set of questions, let me know. I'll move on to the next slide.
Ma'am, 17th question, can you please explain once again? Fly off the handle.
My, oh my bad, I was on mute. Fly off the handle basically means getting angry unreasonably.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
didn't.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, got it. Okay, I was on mute. Okay. So let me know when you're done with, okay, location is done. Okay, so moving on to the next slide then.
Ma'am, what is the 23rd question, ma'am? I do not prevaricate.
Just a moment, just a moment. Okay, which one? I do not.
23rd, ma'am.
Yeah, so it basically means that you are trying to, like, you remember avoiding. So you're trying to avoid something to hide the truth. I do not prevaricate. Like you are
I
trying
don't
to,
hide. I don't hide truth. Is it so,
yes,
ma'am?
yes,
Yes.
yes, yes, in a way, in a way. Great. Locations in a fast and furious mood. Great. So we're done with 27. Okay, wait, I'll wait. So you got the, I hope there is no ambiguity with the meaning. You can ask if you are stuck with any sentence, anything. How many of you are clear with the sentence number 25? I love to meet new people and get to know what makes them tick. Were you able to understand this? Great. So what it basically means is that what are their feelings or okay, so prevaricate simply lie. I do not lie or I do not fabricate things or I like if you remember, yeah, like you do not avoid things in a way you're not trying to hide the truth, maybe. Yes, and great. Okay, moving on to the next set of questions. Just a moment. Give me a moment. It has stuck. Wait. I hope it's visible to you all. Again, 27. I moved on to the next slide. Ah.
Ma'am, where is the 32 question, ma'am?
I'll read it for you. It is, I do not, see here it is, I do not let stressful situations or people, actually I think वो थोड़ा सा ऊपर align हो गया है.
Okay, ma'am.
Yeah,
Right.
है ना? I do not let stressful situations or people affect me once I've left work. You all can see 37 to 45 questions, right? And then we have one more set of questions and then we are done and then we'll move on to the next step. Don't forget to write the question number. Moving on to the final set of questions. Okay, so these are the final set of questions that we have, and then we'll do total basis on the different statement. Is the slide visible? Or if I switch on the
Yes, ma'am.
slideshow, okay, if I switch on the slideshow, it hangs actually, but I'll do it like for the next two slides. I'll see. Chalo. Okay. Now you have to do the total of few statements on the basis of the score that you have given. I'll just show you which statements need to be added. Wait, I'll tell you. Okay. Now what you have to do is, can you see the self-awareness section, right? Write essay, write essay on, and below that, what you have to do is 1, 6, 11, 16, 21, 26, 31, 36, 40, and 46. These questions, this the rating that you have given on a scale of 1 to 5, right? You have written sum these statements. You have to sum these statements. Am I clear? I'll write it. I'll tell you how. See, for example, in the question one, you gave yourself 5, right? In question two, you gave yourself, in question six, uh, for example, a 3, right? Now what you have to do is so on and so forth, so on and so forth. What you do is you have to add 5 plus 3 plus whatever is the number. Okay. And that will be your score for self-awareness. Let's do it for self-awareness first. Okay, now sum these statements and get a total for self-awareness. Statements number 1, 6, 11, 16, 21, 26, 31, 36, 41, and 46. Any doubts, please ask. Are we done with self-awareness? Next, managing emotions, you can mention abbreviate this as ME, then motivating oneself MO, then empathy E, and social skills SS. Like this, you abbreviate your competencies, your emotional intelligence competency. For what? For self-awareness. Essay is 49. I'll tell you the interpretation also. I'll tell you. You have a grid to fill in now. Very good. I will not say anything. Let it be a suspense. Let's see how good or bad it is. I'll tell you. Let others also complete. Otherwise, it will be a spoiler for others.
Good evening, madam.
Yes. Good
Uh,
evening, Rashmita.
will you please explain again, ma'am? What can we
Okay.
do?
Okay. So you have answered all the 50 questions. Done
Yes,
answering.
yes,
Okay,
yes.
now what you have to do is you have to do a sum of the questions as in the responses. You rated your responses on a scale of 1 to 5,
5.
right? You have given yourself a rating 1 to 5, you have given them a score. Now what you have to do is, for example, for question number 1, I gave myself a 4, for example. Okay.
Hmm.
For question number 6, I gave myself a 2. For
Hmm.
question number 11, I gave myself a 1, right?
Hmm.
I have given this rating. Now what I
Hmm.
have to do is, these are some 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 10 questions, 10 questions in each competency. Now the sum of your responses, sum of these 10 responses that you've given on a scale of 1 to 5, you have to add them. You will get a number like 34, 35. You'll get a number when you total the responses.
Hmm.
Getting it? And that response, I'll tell you what it interprets, what it means actually. I'll tell you the interpretation, whether it's a good, whether it's your strength or you need to improve or you need a development on priority basis. I'll tell you that. So is it clear? You tell me your score for question number 1. Tell me. I'll help you with that. For 3.
Yes.
Okay. For question number 6.
5.
Okay. For question number 11.
2.
Okay. 2. Then, okay. Then question number 16,
4.
4. Then question number 21,
5.
5. Then question number 26,
4.
4. Then question number 31,
5.
5. Then question number 36,
5.
5. Then question number 41,
4.
4. Then question number 46,
5.
5. So your total is 3, 5, 8, 10, 14, 19, 23, 28, 28, 33, 33, 37, 37, 42 for self-awareness. Your total is 42, right? Now,
Yes, yes.
in a similar fashion, you have to do it for managing emotions, motivating oneself. The question
Okay,
number is
ma'am.
given.
Okay.
Got it?
Okay, ma'am.
Now,
Thank you.
okay. Now, please do a summation, right? Like essay is equal to, like Lokesh has a score of
Yes, yes,
40,
yes.
49.
Yes, yes.
Okay. Rashmita
Mm-hmm.
42. Now, each one of you, likewise, in a similar fashion, go ahead with managing emotions, motivating oneself, empathy, and social skills. Let me know once you're done, and then we will connect and discuss the interpretation. So it's 6:35 as of now. In another 5-10 minutes, we'll get back. We'll understand the interpretation. L- So if everyone is done, should we discuss one by one as in the score? Can we discuss? Okay, for self-awareness, are we done? So I have a question in self-awareness. How many of you have scored between 35 to 50? Can I change the slide? I have one question. Can I change the slide? Because if I change the slide, okay. See, if I change the slide, I'll tell you why I'm asking this. You have to understand this now. This is the interpretation of those 5 skills that I talk of, 5 competencies when I talk of. What is your strength? What needs attention? And what is your development priority? Okay, 35. That's also a good score, I'll tell you. So anything that is falling between the range of 35 to 50 can be considered as your strength. Anything that is falling between the range of 35 to 50 needs your, it can be considered as your strength. Then anything that is between 18 to 34, anybody scored between 18 to 34 for any of the competencies? Anybody?
Yes,
For
ma'am.
which
Oh,
one?
the second one, ma'am, managing emotions, I got only 20, ma'am.
Okay, okay, okay. So that is
Ma'am,
something. Mhm.
ma'am, I've got 33 in managing emotions.
Okay, so wherein the score is 18 to 34, it says that that skill, that competency of your needs attention, and any of the competencies that has got a score between 10 to 17 should be your development priority. Okay, so if one by one, can we like discuss self-awareness for I got your most of your scores, I got above 40. Okay, I'll repeat it. Strength is something that is between 35 to 50, a score of 35 to 50. Needs attention. Needs attention is would be a score between 18 to 34, and something between 18 to 10 to 17 is your development priority. Anybody got a score between 10 to 17 for any of the competencies, and 10 to 17, that low? Anybody? No. Well, in a way, I feel that 10 to 17 would be a little difficult also, because you have 10 questions and three for each. Also, minimum would one each also can give you a 10. Yeah, if you give one for each, well, will give you a 10. So it is a five scale rating, 5 point scale rating that I have done. The same could, if it would have been done on a three factor scale, no, you might have got some 10s and 17s. Yes, I get it. I get it. I get it. If I would have kept it as 1, 3, and 5, I would have kept it as a three-factor rating scale, you would have definitely got a 10 or 17. But I kept it as 5. I interpreted this instrument as 5. That is why nobody got that development priority while option. And most of you got needs attention and strength. If I would have just given 1, 3, and 5, as in 1 which does not apply, 3 applies half of the time, and 5 it applies maximum, then you would have definitely got a development priority. So can you tell me, okay, in this scale also, can you tell me which of your competency got the least score? The least score, I'll understand that from on the basis of that. All our strengths, so that means you are in the wrong place. You are in the wrong place. This workshop is not meant for you. You should be conducting one. Okay, managing emotions for Neetaji, and who else? The least that you got, the score has been least for which of the competencies? ME, managing emotions. Okay, most of you in managing emotions. Okay, right. I remember Mridul ji, na? Where is he? He's not interacting much today. Managing emotions, 44 points. Please enlighten everyone that how did you get such a high score, and how are you actually managing emotions? Please enlighten us. How do you do it? How do you keep yourself so motivated? And how are you able to keep yourself calm and tranquil? Reading lots of books. Yes, we need to learn a lot from Lokesh, I believe. Yes, so managing emotions, like I'd say that. Why is it important and relevant? Yesterday also we were discussing that transcend, self transcends at highest level of you being yourself, you being your existence into this world. So understanding that, right? And for that, I would also say that introspection, understanding yourself plays a crucial role. Okay. So I think, Lokesh, you should not be typing things. You should be actually talking to each one of us, because definitely it will give your energy to all of us, and I believe that we will be able to, and that inhibition, that shyness will in a way go from all of us, and we will interact little more. So I would request, Lokesh, if you could also express yourself, you could turn on your audio and talk to us if that's possible for you. Please go ahead, we'd like to listen, because I believe I have some really active, versatile set of people with me who are actually so well versed in so many things, but I don't know why they're not sharing it with me. You have to share it with me. I am privileged. I am honored to be interacting with you, and all the credit goes to Pramod sir. Thank you, sir, for allowing me to get such a beautiful batch of people. So yes, Lokesh, I'd like to listen. Please go ahead. We'd like to listen to you. If you could just unmute yourself.
Hello, ma'am.
Hello.
Hello, ma'am. Ma'am,
Yeah.
I have done that because मैम मैंने काफी अपनी लाइफ में फेलियर्स देखे हैं, एक्सपीरियंस बहुत सारे रहे हैं। मोस्टली हम में से ऐसा था कि सबका ऐसे ही था कि हम अपने इमोशन जब दूसरों को दिखाते तो वो हमारे लिए एक बैकड्रॉप बन जाता है या
Hmm.
डीमेरिट बन जाता है।
True.
मैम होता है ये व्हेन वी आर अ लीडर, जब हम
Hmm.
अपना इमोशन दिखाते हैं तो जो मेंबर्स होते हैं कुछ तो समझ लेते हैं उस चीज को, बट कुछ उस चीज को बहुत गलत वे में लेके जाते हैं। गलत वे में लाइक हम जब बोलते हैं तो वो गलत वे में लेके जाते हैं, या हम जब दिखाते हैं तो वो गलत वे में लेके जाते हैं। काम में डिले होता है उस वजह से। अब प्रॉब्लम ये है कि मैम अब उस चीज को हम कैसे करें। अब मैं ऐसा देखता हूँ कि जब हम इमोशनल हैं तो इमोशनली रहें, और ना है तो हम एक बहुत प्रैक्टिकल अप्रोच करें। मैम हमें यही है कि हम बहुत ज्यादा, ये इंडियंस में एक थोड़ी सी एक है, द पीपल हु आर लिविंग इन इंडिया वो थोड़े ज्यादा इमोशन हो जाते हैं। या अगर बाहर हम काम करते हैं, बाहर किसी वर्क प्लेस में काम करते हैं, तो वहाँ पे प्रैक्टिकल अप्रोच है, वहाँ पे इमोशनल नहीं है। अब आप जितने प्रैक्टिकल होंगे, आप, ऐसा नहीं है कि यहाँ पे आप बहुत ज्यादा प्रैक्टिकल हो जाए, आपको इमोशनल भी होना जरूरी है। बट आपको पता होना चाहिए कि वो इमोशनल कैटेगरी आपको कब दिखानी है लोगों को। आपको एम्पैथी दिखानी है, आप एम्पैथी दिखाओ, बट जब आपका काम का टाइम आ जाए तब वहां पे प्रैक्टिकल अप्रोच ले लीजिए। अब लोग क्या करते हैं, जस्ट इसका अपोजिट करते हैं, जहाँ पे उनको प्रैक्टिकल होना होता है वहां पे थोड़े इमोशनल हो जाते हैं। अब द पीपल हु आर गुड इन टेकिंग द एडवांटेज, उनको लगता है कि हाँ पर्सन इमोशनल हो रहा है तो ले लो, उसके मजे ले लो, राइट, काम मत करो, एंड वी विल सी एट द डेडलाइन। बट चीज ये है कि जब आपको डेडलाइन से थोड़ा बचना है, आपको प्रैक्टिकल अप्रोच वहां पे लेना पड़ेगा, राइट। तो मैं भी पहले ऐसे ही था कि आई जनरली बिकम इमोशनल। कोई मुझे बताता था कि ये प्रॉब्लम है घर पर, ये प्रॉब्लम चल रही है, ये प्रॉब्लम चल रही है, फैमिली से कॉन्फ्लिक्ट चल रहा है, तो आई जनरली गेट इमोशनल। मैं उसको बोल देता था कि चलो ठीक है, यू टेक द टाइम, एंड में दे देना। प्रॉब्लम ये आने लगी कि जब मैंने ये अप्रोच यूज किया, पीपल बिकम वेरी लीनियंट। उनको लगा हाँ ठीक है, ही इज नॉट गिविंग अ डैम, तो हम काम नहीं करेंगे। अब प्रॉब्लम यही होती है, जब हम प्रैक्टिकल ना चुन के इमोशनल चुने, तो फिर वो आखिरी में फिर वो बोल देते कि सर हमसे नहीं हो रहा, बेटर है आप काम कर लीजिए, तो सारा बर्डन, सारा ओवरलोड आपके ऊपर आ जाता है। टू
True.
अवॉइड दिस थिंग, मैं एक ही चीज बोलता हूँ कि बीइंग प्रैक्टिकल फ्रॉम द स्टार्टिंग ऑफ द डे। मैं ये नहीं बोल रहा कि आप इमोशनल मत होइए, एम्पैथी नहीं हो आप में, सिंपैथी नहीं हो, सब यूज कीजिए, बट यू नो द कंडीशन। ये मैंने मैसेज में यही भेजा कि यू नो द कंडीशन, कि आपको कहाँ उस चीज को यूज करना है। आप हर टाइम इमोशनल रहेंगे तो पीपल विल टेक यू लीनियंट। फिर हम ये बोलते हैं कि यार ही इज टेकिंग मी लीनियंट और शी इज टेकिंग मी लीनियंट। जब आप उसको इमोशन दिखाएंगे, कीप योर इमोशन विथ योर सेल्फ। आपको पता होना चाहिए कि कब उसको डायरेक्ट करना है और कब उसको वापस लेना है अपने पास। तो दीज आर द थिंग यू शुड फोकस ऑन। अगर आप बहुत ज्यादा इमोशनल हैं, बहुत
Hmm.
ज्यादा आपके पास इमोशन दिखते हैं लोगों को आपके, तो स्टार्ट टू हाइड सम ऑफ देम, राइट। जब आप ऐसा करेंगे तो पीपल विल अंडरस्टैंड यू। उनको पता है कि ही इज प्रैक्टिकल, इसको काम चाहिए इस पर्सन को, तो दे विल डू। अदरवाइज अगर आप बहुत ज्यादा इमोशन हो जाएंगे तो उनको लगेगा ठीक है, ही इज इमोशनल, वी कैन गिव एट द डेडलाइन, या इसके बाद कोई भी रीजन लेके जाओ, ही बिकम एम्पैथी एंड सिंपैथी हो जाता है ये पर्सन। तो वो भी गलत चीज है। आपको बहुत प्रैक्टिकल रहना पड़ेगा व्हेन यू आर ऑन द वर्क प्लेस। वहां पे इमोशन नहीं चलता। द पर्सन इज पेइंग सैलरी फॉर योर प्रैक्टिकल अप्रोच, नॉट फॉर योर इमोशनल अप्रोच, राइट। तो वो आपको दिखाना पड़ेगा कि आप बहुत ज्यादा प्रैक्टिकल हो, इमोशनल होना है, बट यू नो द कंडीशन की कब होना है, या कब आपको उस पर्सन के साथ सपोर्टिव होना है, या कब आपको एज अ थोड़ा सा बॉसी नेचर का हो जाना है। तो दीज आर द थिंग यू शुड नो दैट।
Absolutely, very rightly said. I don't think I have to add anything to it because it is true when we act too lenient to our subordinates, or we tend to miss our deadlines. We tend to take things so lightly. Like Anita ji also said in the very beginning that people come up, they share their personal things, and we tend to get emotional. But yes, I also believe that Lokesh is right that we need to get a little strict when required. तो वो चीज़ धीरे-धीरे I think you start developing it, you start to understand that at when time the other person is trying to make a fool out of you. But I would always say that try to use your words in the most appropriate manner so that they are not hurtful or they are not, letting the other person down. Otherwise, there are people who, take these things to the grave. They don't forget it. And then it becomes very difficult to deal with such people because they keep the grudges till the end. So it is also very difficult. So I think Lokesh, you very beautifully expressed and shared it with us that yes, it should be a good balance of being practical, being rational, and being emotional. So yes, this was the entire session that I had for you today. So I hope this instrument in a way helped you understand your development priority. The least score that you have got for the competency, mark it as the one which needs development on priority basis. And congratulations, Lokesh, you should be taking such sessions. So you have actually got everything has been your strength. Like you are self-aware, you can manage your emotions, you are good at motivating. And then we have heard you saying so many things, which I believe you have portrayed, you have projected the right points, right? And to be very honest, this set of people that I've got with me, honestly, I have taken 3 sessions so far, like three as in 21 sessions, like it's going to be 21. So 3 programs so far. This is the third program. And to be very honest, you guys have been really amazing and active people. You have been really active in responding, discussing things. Karthik, Rashmita, Anita ji, Mridul sir also. I don't think, I mean, he's not responding much today, but yes, he also, Pearl, everyone. So, yes, I'll tell you. So, uh, you all have been so interactive. So this is what adds to the beauty of the entire sessions. And as far as EQ and EI are concerned, like I said, I have gone through few articles wherein I was able to understand that there is no difference as such between EQ and EI. They are often interchangeably used, EQ, emotional quotient, and EI. However, EQ is a measure of your EI. We tend to use EQ and IQ because you have standardized scores for EQ and IQ, right? So what is it that EQ score, it's considered between 90 to 100 is considered good. However, 160 is the best. So there are there are certain scores which have been mentioned. I will share few further links with you wherein you can read more stuff and articles related to EQ and EK. I won't say that it can be developed in a day. It takes time to get that proper balance between your EQ, between IQ, and understanding where and which action should be appropriate. Who is trying to deceive you? Who is trying to actually, being friendly? That trust factor, team building. It's not easy, but it's not difficult also. You get a gist of everything as you start working on it. So like I was also reading a Lokesh's reply where he said he reads book reads a lot of books. So I would also recommend each one of you to read a lot. If you cannot read, but there are also audiobooks available. But some people feel that the beauty lies in reading only. So definitely, I also have few books. If time allows, some like if anybody is interested, I can share a list. We can exchange books because I'm done with few of them. So I'll share a list of the books that I have. If you want, I can get it delivered to you. I can share it with you. You can take my books. It's please, okay. Share links of how to conduct an exercise. Okay, see, for the questionnaire, I'll tell you, you have to first tell me the topic, what kind of topic you are looking for, right? The topic that you want to conduct your, exercise with the colleagues, you can tell me. Then, then we can see, I'll figure out, I'll find out few questionnaires available online. Then you can either, twerk them a bit, you can change them a bit, or you can use them as it is and share it. I have few more instruments if you want. You you message me the topic of your discussion. Then on the basis of that, okay, similar to this. Okay, I can find out few more. I'll share them with you. This one also I got it online. I can share similar questionnaires with you. I'll find for you. And you can, Yes, yes. I'll find few more questions similar to this. I'll share this one also. I have one more which is of similar nature with me. I have it in my email. I can share. I'll go through it and then I'll share the required ones with you all. If you need it, I'll share it on the group. You can conduct in a similar fashion. I hope you've understood the entire process. This is how it is conducted. And always don't forget to give a disclaimer wherein you tell that these things are basically, they're subjective. They depend a lot on what you're exactly feeling. So don't take them lightly also. But yes, don't take them to your heart of that. Oh my God, I've got such a low score or this. No, don't take that too seriously. Also, it's just a closer understanding of how you are. That's it. Just introspecting, knowing yourself a little better. So I will see you all tomorrow. Tomorrow, same time. But before that, I'd like to end with a quote because I did not give in the starting. So yes, I'd like to end with a quote. Leadership is about empathy. It is about having the ability to relate to and connect with people for the purpose of inspiring and empowering their lives. So I wish you all the best, everyone. See you all tomorrow. Tomorrow, I guess it's stress and time management. And then we are left with communication. That's it. And these are going to be some more beautiful sessions, which will definitely help you and, enlightening each one of us and adding more to our insights. Power to each one of you. See you all tomorrow, 6 o'clock. Great. So see you all tomorrow. I'll share these everything with you and even more reading links with you. And one more thing, if you have anything suggestions in terms of improving the session so that I can also improve for the coming sessions, do share it to me. You can text me. You can write on the group when sir changes the settings of the group. Also, you can do that. So see you all tomorrow 6 p.m. Bye everyone. Bye. Thanks a lot. Bye. So I'm just ending it.